So hi there, welcome to lesson 4. We are now going to treat a special set of continuous variables that they call the non-response code. And this happens basically with questionnaires, and it could happen with some routine data too, depending on how the data is collected. You may find it in routine data. If you just in case you don't know the difference between routine data and survey data, you are free to go back to module 1. We explained that in one of the lessons in module 1. So just go to the website. The main page of this YouTube channel, and then select the first playlist, which is module 1. Okay, so to understand non-response codes, you have to first remember that they are numbers. They are numbers, continuous numbers, and they have a value. So they are sort of like categorical variables, only that they don't have a label. So I'll give an example straight away so that you can be able to relate. So this is a questionnaire that has 2 questions. One is asking about the age of the respondent, and if it is not known, or maybe the respondent refuses to answer, which is a response in itself, you are asked to put in 999. Now ideally, nobody is 999 years old, but it helps you to understand that that value is not valid. Now, in question number B, they say, how many times did you visit the hospital in the last 1 year? So if you refuse to answer, it's 97. If the person cannot remember, it's 99. So these kind of numbers that you enter are called non-response codes. And it's going to be very interesting how you manage them when they form data. So we have looked at question A, which is the age, question B, which is the number of times a hospital is visited, and we have also noted the non-response code. Now when you put this in the data, it gives you something like this. So age 19, number of times visited the hospital 9 within the year. The second rule is 23 2. Now we can see a 999 in A, which means the person refused to answer, and we can also see cannot remember in question number B. So the challenge of this, and this is why you have to always understand the context when you see numbers like this that are a bit large compared to the challenge is that if you forget to go evaluate, you now ask yourself, what's the minimum value? We're doing minimum, mean, and or average, and maximum. The minimum value for this cell is 19, and the other one is 3. That's for B. And then the maximum value is 99 here and 999 in the A variable. So when you look at their averages too, we do mean. The mean here is 173 and the other mean is 30. So there is a way that these non-response codes affect the mean, affect the maximum value, and you now know that there's a problem. So the average value is already too high. What we are saying is the average age of these people is 173, and what made it high was the 999. Nobody or no group of people can have an average age of 173. So you can do the math, take a calculator, pause the video, and quickly get the average. Add up all the numbers and divide by 7. Same thing on the other side for B. Add up all the numbers and divide by 7, and you see what we're talking about. So the ideal thing is to convert them to missings. Those high numbers, those non-response codes to missings. In that way, first, you're able to get a realistic maximum value. Now you see, maximum value has changed. Minimum value is still what it is, and the averages have come down. Now the average age is 37 for A, and average age is 3. That's average of 3 times in a year. That's when the hospital is visited. So basically, this is the understanding that some of these continuous variables have some categorical nature. That's how to put it, And when they are put in your questionnaire, you have to be very, very careful how it is being interpreted. So this is clearly going to be an outlier in both cases. It's quite quite challenging to think that someone will visit hospital 99 times in a year, you know. But it's more realistic if it was 99, someone is 99 years old or someone is 9. So it's very important that we note a few things. So number one, all response codes should be exempt from the basic review of continuous variables. Now you see why it affects the average or the mean. It affects the maximum in some cases. So it's very important that you isolate, you look out for them in the data set. So sometimes you'll find different kinds of responses, but it's very important that you study it. Even like I mentioned in routine data where data is probably automatically generated, you may just see some large numbers. So you need to understand what they mean. And in analysis, they have a context in which they will be used. And instead, I will even have a special package for the various kinds of missings. So basically, take note of this so it does not mess you up when you are evaluating your data. And it will help you to give proper context, how you change them, of course, into missings. So it's just very simple. If it is 999, it should be converted to a missing, and there are even categorical missings. That's what I wanted to emphasize in Stata and how they are recognized. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll see in the next video where we'll now take collapse and add on to categorical variables and string variables in the review of our analysis. So see you in the next video. Hi there, welcome to lesson 4, and here we're looking at the non-response codes, and we want to do a practical demonstration of what the challenge may be. We will walk around it in a certain way, but it's very good to first see the files. So in this particular text or assignment now, last practical we did English and maths, but now we are doing the average French score for the whole school for each grade, just in the spirit of what we did the last time. So we are looking at sorry, yeah, did I get that right? Yeah, I got it right here. So we're looking at, I thought we were trying, so what we need to do, we created another file called module 7 students, and we're going to run it now, run it quickly because we have added French scores to it. So the file has changed slightly. Let's just run this first. So when we run, we check our data. So now we have a French score, so we have a French score, but you find this in module 7 even though it's module 6, but we just added a column called for French score. And you can see a non-response code here of 999 because people did not register. Some people do not, it does not apply to them. Not everybody does French in the school. So out of the 100, we have some 999s. And what happens is that when you want to find the average score, which I'm going to do now, let me just take what I had done in the previous section, so it will be very fast. So I'm going to just copy, that's all I'm doing, and I'm going to paste here. So you can do a lot of copying and pasting with your do files, really. It has the same syntax or format. Okay, so this is English score, and then this is French score. So let's run that now. Let's even see what is the maximum French score and graph it. So immediately you do that, you see maximum French score is 999, but that was a non-response code. The maximum French score cannot be 999. So, but that's not even what we're told to do. We're told to find the average. So we're going to do mean, and that's the option to use, H bar and mean. Let's look at the average friend score. So average friend score now is showing me 99, but it's misleading because of those 9999 values that we have. It's quite misleading. So what we need to do is to make them non-response. So I'm going to the module 7 file. Let me do it in module 6 since I'm referring to module 6 here. So I just left module 7 if you want to practice. So, but you can also consult module 6. The friend score is there. Oh, sorry, I now see the mistake. So just give me a minute. Let me sort this out. I will use module 7 for this straight away because in module 6 there were no non-response. Okay, sorry about that. They are actually in module 6, so I will just alter it. So what I need to do is keep this blank, delete all the 99. So I could just do Control F. Now this is not the best way, and it's because we have not taught you how to clean data. So there's no 99 there. And then I go to grade 2, find if there is 999 there. Sorry, here in this column. Let's find all. There is none. Quickly go to grade 3. Let's find next. Okay, there's one here, and I just delete. So I look for another occurrence of that because it's not applicable, so you don't give it a value. Okay, next one. Do we have any? There's none in grade 4. There's okay, there are quite a find all. So there are 2 in grade 5. 1, 2. Let's delete it. And then we save because they are affecting our averages. We can now go back again now to our do file and run. So let's go back and run. Now, do you see that the mean dropped? It was very close until that it had dropped because all those 999 gave us a false mean, and we could make mistakes along the line with such things. So it's very important that we are very clear on these kind of things. Yeah, so that's how it works. Now, if we look for the maximum, interesting too. Now we will see something that makes more sense. Select these 2 lines and then run. So oops, so it seems like if we have not deleted because the number is still showing here. So it seems there's one more 999 that we have not done. Okay, I can see it here. Can you see it? So that also helps you whenever you're checking for your maximum. It tells you if something is wrong with the data. Nobody can score 999 over 100, and this was even a mistake on my own part. So that's why it's good to always check for the mean, the max, and the medium. I mean, I always call it medium. The mean, the minimum, and the maximum. Very important. They give you a sense of what's going on with the data and if something is wrong with the data. So I will go back now. I've saved it. I'll go back and run it. I need to know what the max French score is. It's still showing that. Let me check what is wrong here. So what I can do quickly is find out where this is coming from. So I will say browse if French score double equals to 999. Since we know that's where we're getting error from. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't exist. So what did I do wrong? Yeah, I'm correct. French score 999. So let's run again. Maybe I did not save the entire. Let me go back and save this last module. Save. Because we don't have any 999s here anymore. So it should. So good. So the max French score is now something less than 100. So this is how it works. This is how it works. So I think what we were asked now, when the max makes sense, then you can go back to the averages. that they asked you for. So our mean, we can check to display it for us. You see, our mean is much lower. It's about closely about 60 something here. So our mean is 60 something here. Sorry, my battery went low for a while. So our mean is 60 something, which was far lower than what it was before. Their mean French score was quite low. So we can now also go about what we had done before. We do it over the grade and over best spots. So you say comma, this is an option over grade. Let's see how people performed over grade. I'll run again. So grade 1, grade 2, you can see all the means, you know. I think the average mean for grade 3 seems to be the highest. And then we can also take over best spot. I think that's what we called it, best underscore spot. If that is not correct, it will run an error and then I have to correct it. Okay. So that's it for the sports. So I think soccer has a higher mean for French. So maybe there's a French league the students are working on and it's affecting their French scores. Just saying, So that's how it works basically. I hope it makes sense. And if you want to do the vertical bars, remove the H, just write bar, and the same thing will happen. So we could produce all these three charts. The mean overall French score will be vertical, and then we have the final one for the best spots. So soccer seems to be leading. So that's how it works basically, and I hope you have learned something about the non-response codes. If we had left them there, they would have affected our means, and that would have been so bad. So thank you so much for your time. We will see in the next video and take it a bit further.